Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, December 26th, and I'm back on Christmas Day breaking down some videos for the college football bowl games. Had a lot of fun today, family and friends. Hopefully everybody else did. Open some good gifts, have some good food, maybe watch some good games. Really wasn't good games in the NFL, but maybe caught some good games in the NBA. But we're going to be breaking down two more bowl games, a couple appetizers before we get to some main dishes on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon, looking at some college football bowl games. But we do have a couple matchups here. Pittsburgh is going to be going up against Toledo. We have Rutgers against Kansas State. Going to have a couple player props as well. So we're going to try to break down these games. Before we do all of that, let's take a look at the games we had on, Tuesday night, I want to say? Had to have been, right? San Jose State going up against South Florida. Had South Florida. A lot of people said South Florida money line. Good calls. South Florida plus 3.5 was the play. They won it in 5 overtimes on 2-point conversions, 40-something to 40-something. I don't know. It was late. I was in and out of consciousness. It was late. I saw it got to the third overtime, and I was like, it's 2-point conversions. Unless we get San Jose State scoring and get a pick 6 the other way, it's covering no matter what. So I kind of dozed off. But I do know that South Florida did win the game by 2 points. Player prop was Walker Egan over 304.5 yards. Came close. I thought he was going to get it in the first half. He was slinging the ball all over the place. I think he finished with 282 in the game, so that one did not hit. So we'll take the one-on-one day. I am glad South Florida came back and covered the spread because it looked like it was really good. Then they couldn't play at all coming out of half, and they forced overtime. So I'm glad we got at least one cover in that game. Also saw a lot of people taking the over, had the over on the member side. Felt good to get that over as well. So let's move on to the games for tomorrow. Or for today, whenever you're watching this. We have Pittsburgh going up against Toledo, and I might be changing this play. Right now it's Pittsburgh -7. There is a chance Eli Holstein, who's played most of the season for Pitt, the starting quarterback for Pitt's transferring out. Eli Holstein came in for injury, but he's been out for 3 consecutive weeks. That's going to be a massive blow as he's not going to be able to play in this game. It looks like he's trending in the right direction, but we could be seeing a couple freshmen playing for Eli Holstein if he's not able to play. One of the names is Julian Duggar. He's a true freshman out of Penn Hills High School. Potentially plays in this game, but it does say in the article that Pittsburgh's trying to win this game, so they doubt they give the young guy any reps. They are going to go to another transfer freshman who has played this season for Pitt. His name is David Lynch. I don't like him one little bit. We've only seen him in 2 games. He had 46 yards and an interception against Louisville. If he's on the field, I'm switching to Toledo with the points because Toledo has everybody staying. They've got a decent quarterback in Gleason. They've got some good weapons on the outside. They've got a steady running game. A lot of people touching the ball in that running game for Toledo. The defense this season, they haven't been great, but they will be good enough to beat this Lynch kid for Pittsburgh. So if Pittsburgh throws out Lynch, I'm switching to Toledo. If Pittsburgh has Eli Holstein, I will lay Pitt with the number -7. Make sure you guys are watching this very closely right until the kickoff because I will flip this game if Eli Holstein is not playing. Toledo +7 will be the play if he's out. Pitt -7 will be the play if he's in. So that will be the first play there. Second play of the day, we're going to be looking at Rutgers going up against Kansas State. 2 teams I've watched a lot this season. Rutgers out of the Big Ten. Middle of the season, horrible drought. We had Nebraska, Wisconsin, USC, loss. Finished the season well. That's what I'd like to see in these teams coming into bowl season. I'd like to see them get into a rhythm, beat Minnesota, beat Maryland, beat Michigan State for the last game of the season, 41-14. I like what I saw about Rutgers. I'm going to take them with the points in this game, +7. Kansas State, what do we know about Kansas State? Away from home, the defense does not play well. It's a neutral site game. Kansas State also lost 3 of the 4 games down the stretch. I have them right here. Houston, horrible loss. Arizona State, at the time, not a very good loss, but Arizona State now in the college football playoffs. Cincinnati, they beat the brakes off of them, and then they lost to Iowa State last game of the season. That was an away game for them. Defense gave up 29 points. Whenever this team goes on the road, the defense does not typically show up. So I'm going to take the Rutgers Scarlet Knights here, +7. I do think Kyle Monaghan is going to have a monster day on the ground. Didn't take him as a player prop, but I do think he's going to have a monster day on the ground. He is a senior as well, so I'd love to see him get all the touches in the world in this game. Give him the ball 30-plus times. Would be awesome to see him go for 200-plus yards in Kansas State. I think it's too many points. Big Ten team like Rutgers, they're going to battle the entire way. Should be some pretty good defense as well. So give me the points in this game as the final play there. Let's go to the player props. We are going to start with Kansas State, and I've got to take him because he's been one of the best running backs for this team for the last several years. DJ Giddens over his total rushing yards as the play on this season. 205 carries, 1,343 yards for Kansas State. Next closest person that's a running back has 350 yards. So he's outpacing the backup running back by 1,000 yards. DJ Giddens is an absolute monster. I do think Kansas State will be giving this kid the ball 25, 30 plus times. This is going to be a matchup between him and Kyle. Which one of these guys can get more yards? He only had 14 carries in the last game against Iowa State. One of the big reasons why they lost that game. Couldn't establish a run. They got down against Iowa State. When they go away from the run game, it's not good. Kansas State has to lean on the running game once again in this game because Avery Johnson is also a dual threat quarterback. When he uses his legs, I think he's a lot better, but they need to give the ball to DJ Giddens in this game. If we go back a couple games after that 72-yard performance against Iowa State, he's had 100-plus yards in 3 of the last 4. So I do think he's going to have another 100-yard game in this one. He is a junior, so he is going to be back next season, but I know he wants to finish this season strong. He can close in on 1,500 rushing yards on the year. That would be a fantastic year for him. Try to keep getting his draft stock higher and higher in these big-time bowl matchups. So I like DJ Giddens here over his total rushing yards as the first play. For the second play tonight, we're going to go back to the Pitt game, and I think this is going to be a very big piece for Pittsburgh to move the ball down the field. Even with Lynch in, Pittsburgh has a chance to cover the spread. They always do, but if Lynch is in, I love this play even more. The play is going to be Desmond Reed, the running back, to go over his total rushing plus receiving. Going to be 116.5. I know a lot of people can't take the combo bets, so if you had to take one, I think I would go over his receiving yards as the play. Probably going to be 40-something. I can look at it really quick. I want to say it was 44.5 last time I checked. I'm going to say it's 44.5 right now. Might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower. But Desmond Reed has been a one-man wrecking crew for this Pittsburgh team. Last game against Louisville, they lost 37-19, but he was not a problem. 19 carries, 59 yards, 4 catches, 28 yards. The game before that against Clemson, he had a total of 24 touches, 108 yards out of the backfield, and 68 yards on the ground. This guy is a monster weapon out of the backfield, and he is an absolute mismatch for any linebacker that's going to be in this game going up against Pittsburgh. Toledo is going to be out of the MAC conference, smaller conference, not one of these Power 5 schools or Power 5 conferences. And Desmond is probably going to be one of the most athletic players they've seen on the season. Toledo, I'm not disrespecting them in any way, but playing in the MAC conference, there's good talent, but there's not the speed of the ACC, of the Big Ten, of the SEC. This is a different class. And I do think Desmond Reed will be able to show that against Toledo. He should have well over 100-plus rushing receiving yards this game. I think Pittsburgh's going to be leaning on him extra, especially if Lynch is in this game. I'm going to take Desmond Reed over his total rushing plus receiving, 116.5 as the final play of the day. Let's go to the recap graphic. We will be taking Pitt -7 if Eli Holstein is playing. We'll take Toledo +7 if David Lynch is playing for Pittsburgh. We're going to go Rutgers +7. We have Desmond Reed over 116.5 rushing plus receiving. I would lean towards receiving in that category. DJ Giddens over his total rushing yards as the final play. Have to imagine it's going to be 100-plus rushing yards for that last play. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA football plays and props for Thursday, December 26th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.